Hi, I'm Steve Watts, Managing Partner at TC Group, and I also head up the construction but environment sector here at TC Group. I'm here with Peter Jubb, who's one of our sector consultants. Been working with Peter for a number of years now. We're here to talk you through our business development audit process, 7-stage process, very structured process, which we put together. And essentially put it together, Peter, because we felt there was a skills gap in the market, and in your 35, 36 years of experience, you don't think there's another offering of this type on the market?
Well, I've been working, as you say, Steve, with SME construction businesses for a long time. And during that time, one of the things that's repeated by business owners is the need for improving their business development. They've got challenges around it, whether that's the owners taking too much responsibility for it and they want to delegate that to some members of staff to upskill them and build their own networks for the future, which is also a crucial thing. So I've been advising many businesses in terms of their sort of business development and business strategy. And when we formulated the idea of a business development audit process, having looked into the marketplace, I couldn't see anything that was quite like this. So hopefully we're providing pretty much a unique offer that's tailored exclusively to SME construction businesses. Sure. And we've basically drawn together all that experience under one roof within a 7-stage process.
Perfect. So we'll go into the 7 stages of the business development audit which you put together. So the first one, business model. So just talk us through why this is important, but why it is important as a first stage, stage one.
Yeah, well, indeed. Well, the reason we formulated the process in this way, starting with the business model, is that the business model is kind of the foundational thing that you've got to get in place. And the only way you can formulate a good business model, if you actually understand that the client base you're serving and what they need. So to give an example, if you think about Ryanair or British Airways in the airline industry, they're both in the same industry, but you'll know from experience that the offers are different. The way that they offer the service and the value that they bring is a different model. So when I'm with construction-related SME businesses, I ask them to think about their version of that and how they would define it. But ultimately, the model has to represent something that can deliver value to clients. And it also has to represent what I would call the just cause and key purpose of a business. I mean, why did you actually set up a business in the first place to do what you're doing? And what's the kind of rationale and purpose behind that?
Okay, so stage one, these are the sorts of questions you'll be asking the business owner.
Yeah.
And in your experience over the years, how many businesses in the construction built environment space would have had a clear business model plan in place?
Well, that's a great question, and I think the answer is very few have real clarity on this. And in fact, it's something that I think owners struggle with.
Yeah.
Because it's quite a difficult thing to define unless you actually realise the components that are needed to define it in the first place. And the toolkit that we've created for each stage, which we have done, helps owners to actually identify those things and makes it easy for them to do it.
Well, I think the important point to get across here is often when there's a misconception around business plans that they have to be, war and peace. This is not. We're not suggesting that this has to. It's just it's getting business owners to think about why they're in business, what the values are, what the key purposes are, but also who their target audience are, etc. So these are also all the things you need to know as a business owner, right, or in business to enable you to then shape your strategy following.
100%, because a lot aligned with the business model is also a business strategy, and you're quite right. It doesn't need to be war and peace, and in fact, it shouldn't be. It should be an agile working document that enables you to tweak and adjust it to serve the clients, because you need regular dialogue with clients. It's not a one-off exercise. You have to keep on talking to clients because their environments are changing, their problems are changing, their opportunities are changing. So it's always work in progress, but you've got to have a basis, And that's why we've started with this business model.
And that business model is, you know, it'll give businesses, it'll give focus, and there'll be certain initiatives, projects which will then spin off the back of the sort of business model process, the business model exercise. But also there is immense value, and again, we've done this as a business sales, then sharing the business model, business plan with a wider business as well to get more engagement, stakeholder engagement. And
that inclusivity is vital, because there's no point in having this kind of locked away in an ivory tower. You've got to share it with your staff. You've got to get your team to buy into it. You want them to represent what the model is and live and breathe it, and obviously be advocates for it. So it's a very inclusive thing that, and I think the most successful SME businesses that I work with do this well.
Perfect. And just finally, before we move on to stage 2, so business model stage 1. This involves you sitting down with I'm talking about business owners, but often it'll be other people in the business as well, who the business owner feels is got input in, should have input into the business model. So just talk through, Peter, how you would approach that. So you have various consultation discussions with key stakeholders in the business, and then off the back of that, would you then help them draft the business plan, business model, or would that be left for them to do?
So normally I will sit down with the directors, owners, and the senior management team, and maybe someone from the business development and marketing team. They may be at director level or not. And obviously we try and get them to identify what they think their model is currently. And if they're struggling to do that and can't articulate it, I give them or leave behind a process for them to be able to identify it, because I really want them to come to the process themselves and understand the model themselves, rather than me I can help them describe it, but you kind of just really want them to take what's inside their head and put it onto paper.
So your role in this stage 1 process, as it may well be throughout the whole process of the business development audit, is very much sort of facilitator, just enabler, making sure that they understand what needs to be done, and just help them get there. And
you have to crystallise that at the beginning, because you can't really go through the other stages properly, ultimately, until you've actually crystallised that part of the equation.